They do not look the same.
What's up? What's up, good people? Y'all know what time it is. It's showtime. I know you guys are wondering, what were you and Cheryl talking about, as the live was coming through, and she said they don't even look the same. So let me tell y'all now. So here's the thing. Let me hold. I just got to make sure because Facebook, you gotta. I gotta make sure. Oh, it's public now. Okay. It's public now. Okay. So here's what we were talking about. What's up, everybody? Welcome to our 39th episode. This is the coolest podcast all about textured hair, and it's called The Dumbest That People Say About Black Hair. And so before we get started, that's my home girl over there. There she is, my PNC, not the bank. She looks like the bank. I know she got a lot of bank, but that's my PNC, Cheryl Morrow, Dr. Cheryl Morrow. And so our topic today is all about consultations. But before we get into the topic, I told her we got an old school concert coming to Cleveland by way of Mr. Dennis Cash. What's up, Dennis? He's bringing Switch to Cleveland. And what did you say about Switch?
Switch is one of those groups.
Don't you go there, you're gonna get hurt now. What my
that we are stuck in time.
I'm about to cut you. I gotta cut her, y'all.
You see, now if they had some hits that lead up to current moments.
No, but you gotta have old school, Cheryl. Come on now.
I know, but the point of the matter is Switch is one of those sexy brother groups that's just their look is. I cannot hear them talking about they'll be.
Come on. Come on. They gotta sing. Don't take your love away. Don't take your love away. The best beat in town? What y'all know about the best beat? Come on, y'all. Drop some music notes in the chat. We gotta give it up for Switch. But see, I'm getting old, right? And I hope y'all don't say that. It's like poor Joe Biden. Old people like gigolds getting lonely too. We gotta come on. It's Switch. We know they're old and they're not gonna be. They're not gonna be. That's when light skin was in. We're sorry if you don't. Light skin used to be in when Switch. Hey, if you were not light skinned when Switch was out, baby, listen, that was the epitome. If we thought they was doing something with them brown paper bag tests, if we thought they were doing something, with the Tig-Nines law, you got to cover your hair. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all ain't lived until you had to live through the light skin years. Thank God for Spike Lee with Jungle Fever, because the chocolate people. Boy, growing up a darkie in America, Jesus. Where are my dark people at? I know we ain't I'm dark. Cheryl's light. Though this light is on me, so I'm looking kind of light with the light on me. I'm telling you, what they got a new word for it now is called colorism. But when we were growing up, it was just called light skin is cute, dark is ugly. But we used to have a little saying, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. And I'm darker than you. What y'all know about them old school, colorism, situations that we had going on in America? It was just a sad day and time. But now, hey, anything goes. You got, you can be any hue. It doesn't matter. Black coffee, no sugar, no cream. But, America has done a number on the world with racism, but I don't care what nobody say. Nobody feels the brunt of it like Africans brought here to America. Boy, they really did a number on us with that racism. We see, to me, I still say that all of these mass shootings that we're seeing taking place here in the United States, a lot of this stuff is fuel. It's just leftover stuff from slavery. Nobody wants to talk about it. I'm like, come on, America. Y'all gotta address, y'all gotta atone some of this nonsense that this country just will not address. I'm not saying that's an excuse, but a lot of this stuff is really, to me, I think it's still issues left over for a lot of people, just stemming from good old fashioned racism. Okay, we got McCall's girl in the chat. What's up? What's up? What you know? McCall's girl, I can't tell by your picture if you're dark skinned or light skinned. Hey, if you ever been on the Tom Joyner cruise, they used to have a tug of war. The light skin versus the dark skin. Yeah, we just gonna...
The dumbest thing they say about black skin?
Oh, yeah. Dark skin versus light skin. Yeah, they used to have a tug of war. Sometimes we get like that in the hair salon. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, we can laugh about it now, but growing up, man, let me tell you, dark skin, light skin, it's still not funny. I know we shouldn't be making light of it, but you just can't. You gotta laugh to keep from, being like DMS. Act a fool up in here. Which, you know what I'm saying? That's how it be sometimes. That colorism, nothing gets a person going like colorism. Here's another topic that I found as we work into our topic. Welcome again. You are listening to our podcast. It's called The Dumbest Ish That People Say About Black Hair. If you're following us on social media, don't forget to smash those like buttons and share the content. So a lot of people wants to know a lot about black hair. So I'm with my lovely co-host, my PNC, the one and only Cheryl Morrow. But here's a topic. Dave Ramsey, he is a world-renowned economist. And he said that the millennials and Gen Z, ages 18 through 29, that he got some issues with them living in their mama's basements, but they can afford Coach bags. Should we be kicking those kids out?
How old are they?
Millennials and Gen Zs are 18 through 29. So should we kick them out of the house?
It don't matter. They're not leaving.
If you was in my house, my mama was like R. Kelly. I don't know where you're going, but you got to get the hell up out of here.
But you're not a millennial or a Gen Zer.
Oh, no, I'm not. She done put the light skin. I see you, McCall's girl. She got the dark skinned. I forgot about the skinned. Oh, let me start all over again. The dark skinned people and the light skinned. What, McCall? You got to get me together. I'm Kilolo messing up. I can't be messing up. Yeah. So you said that Gen Z and millennials, they're not going to leave.
Well, your parents were baby boomers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the millennials' parents is the Gen Xers, right?
I'm kind of lost with all this Gen stuff. Just young, old, middle age, but okay.
But the younger ended millennials and the Gen Zers, their parents are not our parents.
So, are you saying that the parents of today are allowing their kids, they're just allowing their children to stay at home longer? They won't put them out?
Well, I just think they have different skill sets. They're not like us. I think we're the last generation where, we had to make it work.
We had to. My mother was like, listen, you had a baby, you pregnant. I got pregnant at 15, right? My mom was like, let the dough hit you with a good Lord split you. Any teen parents in the house? What my teen mamas at with them baby daddies trying to be grown and ish? Yeah, my mom was like, girl, no, because I told you boys and books don't miss. See ya, get on up out of here. So I've been on my own since I was 16. My mother was like, no, you're gonna have to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? So I figured it out. I don't recommend it, by the way.
Like,
But it hey, that's how it was back in those days, okay? I repeat, I do not recommend, but I was a knucklehead. So I think my mother should have put me out, though. She had to, because I was just stupid. Like, put a big capital S, look up in the dictionary, I was like this. McCall's girl, I was like this. Just just stuck on stupid, parked on dumb. She had to. You gotta do what the behavior calls for. I mean, I think she had no. I was just people that know me from back in the day was like, yeah, Ladosha, you really come a long way, babe. He said it's still a cycle. It's still a cycle. She said it skipped a generation. So Ebony, are you saying that our parents are? Are you saying that Cheryl Morrow's and them dad were able to stay at home? Is that what you mean? Cheryl, was your dad able to stay at home with his parents in his 20s? And
wait a minute. 16 was grown. 16, you were supposed to have house, picket fence, and you were supposed to have your stuff completely. You should have had a plan at 15. 15, you have a plan. 16, you have a plan. You were doing grown man stuff at 12.
Really now? See this?
Yeah, my dad was making moonshine and taking care of the family and helping out with the bills and yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, we got some things to learn up here in these United States of America. I think we're going backwards, Ebony. You said it skipped this. It's all still a cycle. It skipped a generation. No, I definitely was not able to do those things at 16. But that's a very interesting point. She said no. Her grandmother. Yeah, okay. So she agrees. She says, her grandmother worked. On the other hand, your mom had to get out. Your mom had to get out the mud. Okay, all right. So speaking of your dad had to get things together. Nothing like getting his career together in the world of beauty and barbering. They're trying to figure out, what's going on, with the customers. So here we are. The topic today is all about consultation. So last week, we talked a lot about, just the whole issue, the dilemma of do we need more products or do we need more information? And so you made a statement that was very interesting, and this is how we got to the topic today. And you said that the industry is going to move more towards solving problems for the public. Because there are there's some big fallouts, particularly in the black hair industry, but I'm just going to say in the beauty industry in general. The beauty industry in general, to me, we're in real big trouble. Okay, so let me just show you guys a picture of what's going on, Miss Sandra. Welcome. I want to bring up a picture here. Now, you guys may not recall. Cheryl kind of hit the nail on the head on this one. And I think last week I made a comment in the beginning about the white TikToker who they came after her on social media for using Miel Organics. Now, you guys may have, and my customer even said this, by the way, Cheryl, in the salon, everybody goes this, now here we go again. So that's the Cheryl phrase now. Now here we go again. All right. And that comes from Miss Selena AG. What's up, Selena? I know you're trolling. She says she doesn't say anything, but she's always watching. So Selena and Dawn, a couple of other customers, they love your statement. Now here we go again. And so that is exactly what Cheryl kind of alluded to when she responded to my statement about the TikToker using the Miel Organics. And you may recall Cheryl telling me that we're focusing on the wrong things. When we talk about hair being black and white and all this colorisms and things of that nature. And I said, no, Cheryl. And Cheryl said, no, that's sold. And I was like, you think they're going to sell Miel Organics? And and she was like, yes, moving right along. So let me just show you how cold-blooded my co-host is. Y'all get ready. Somebody give me a drum roll. Come on, come on. Y'all give me a drum roll. Y'all doing the drum roll on y'all computers and y'all cell phones? Let me tell you, this is how cold-blooded she is. Watch this, y'all. Here we go. Bam! Success or sellout? What black beauty brand founders make of P&G, stands for Procter and Gamble's acquisition of Miel Organics? And so Cheryl predicted this last week. Cheryl, do you work for P&G? How do you know this stuff? Like, why am I so shocked and you're not? Is anybody else shocked by this? Because I was. I didn't think they would sell it. I'm going to be honest.
Why not?
Well, when I don't know if you recall a few months back when Sally's had that big, thing on social media. It was Taraji and Gabrielle, Miel Organics, and a couple of the other black-owned hair care products. And she really spoke of her commitment to her community. And Sandra, you not shocked either? I'm such an airhead. Let me get this blonde out my hair. Shit. Oops, I'm supposed to cuss. I believed her that she wanted to be the example and encourage, people to create and things that was for people who just were anti-chemical. So I believed her, but you saw, I don't know what you saw, but you did say that product she was going to sell it. What's your take on these things being sold? This is pretty fast. This is not a very old company.
Well, if you're assuming that big conglomerates like Procter and Gamble are actually interested, they may appear to be interested, but brands like that are not hard to duplicate. So they rather probably just get rid of you by consuming you. I don't see anything in the product that would make a company that spends millions of dollars on research themselves buying such a low level product. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Why would you have $1 million state of the art laboratory to acquire a brand that is basically a junk brand? I don't understand why you would have PhDs, master degrees, chemists, and all of these bright, chemical savvy and highly educated staff in your laboratory only to acquire something that is not going to be a legacy brand, such as, Procter and Gamble. I don't get it, other than removing you just from the competition.
Listen, I don't know if you can see the chat, but me and Rashida like, damn! That's a bold statement. That's a very bold statement. I don't know what to say, guys. McCone's girl, she dropped in their acquisition. I don't know what Cheryl knows. So I'm definitely not. I'm just going to be honest. In the beauty industry, and this is a perfect segue. What's going on, Sherry? Welcome. It is so nice to have you in the chat. It really, really is. I'm just going to be honest, guys. The beauty industry treats cosmetologists exactly like they treat consumers. And so we shop Not along some hairstylists do shop in the same stores where their customers shop at. But I, as a hairstylist that, look out into the world of, beauty products, I just honestly believe this woman that, she really wanted to, be a staple, but you consider these products low, did you say low performing?
Well, like I said, when a huge corporation like that spends millions of dollars in salaries to get the best chemical um, minds and team, put one together and do research and development, their R&D is not weak by no sense of the imagination. um, I just happen to know firsthand. But here we go again. Why would you, what is the asset of Mael? Mael, what would be the asset? It couldn't be formulation. So we already know that's a joke. It's not formulation because she's not, you can't, one of the jokes about a person just having mere passion and having a will to do something, and of course doing the same study on the same platform called YouTube University or Google University. They have the same knowledge base to make things as anybody else does. They don't have any exclusive ingredients or chemicals or natural raw materials, or they don't have any access to anything of that nature. So my goal here is to only see the asset as just influencers and buyers. It's just a follow the money, honey, all day. And so, unfortunately, probably the same thing will happen to this brand as it happened, with Carol's daughter or some other brand, because at the end of the day, what runs the world, rules the world. Technology rules the world. And unfortunately, black hair care at the level of a Mael is just, it's not technology, it's just mixology. So that the only asset I could think is the following, and just to be aligned with a black founder. So, and I don't mean to be rain on the parade, but I have to tell, we got to be in truth and see this thing clearly so we can see where we're going with it, especially as cosmetologists.
Very, very powerful response. So, April, Vereen, welcome. If you guys are new to our platform, we are very, very excited to have you. As you can tell by Cheryl's response, she's really the smart one, okay? She's the one that knows her stuff. And this is why I'm so honored to be able on the other side of the screen with her, because these are the topics that they don't get talked about like this, definitely in your mainstream media, for sure in the hair salons. Like when our distributors come, they never have these types of conversations with us. As a matter of fact, they seem to not be in the know at all. So April, what I'm going to do is use your statement, to take us into the topic about consultations. So as we look at a product like Miel Organic, now I would not articulate it the way Cheryl has said it when she talks about that this is a company that's mixing. There's no technology in Miel Organics. Now, we don't represent Miel Organics. There may be some technology in it. I'm not quite sure. So these are just our opinions. So don't y'all be coming after us, okay? So these products are, but they're calling them natural, okay? So in her own category, she would say that this is an anti-chemical product. So April, to your point, let me just read what you said. I'm going to take this down right quick because I want to put your statement up because it's going to help us go right into this topic about consultations. So here you're saying, a person may want to do something with their hair, but the beauty professional may not think it's okay. A beauty professional may see something going on with the hair and scalp that a person can't. Now I'm gonna give you a mic drop on that statement right there. So Cheryl, we gonna take it right into the consultation, because I will be the first to admit, when the natural hair movement got really going, to your point, April, I was seeing stuff on the hair that I knew was wrong, but I could not for the life of me, and I still can't pinpoint what is it in those natural products that makes the hair do what it does, so that when we're behind that chair, our consultations become less effective. So empower us about the importance, first and foremost, of a consultation. And then if you can, just kind of squeeze in some of what Miss Vereen, April, just wrote about the struggle that we have behind the chair, because we see something. I'm not trying to put down like the Cantu, Miel, Shea Moisture, Uncle Funky's, but I'm gonna agree with you, April. It's something happening with those products. It's almost like you can't get it off. So how can a consultation help beauty and barber professionals? And what do we do when we see stuff that we just can't? We're just stuck.
So I'm assuming April is a hairstylist. Is April a hairstylist? Is April a hairstylist?
I don't know, but maybe she'll drop it in the chat.
Right.
April, if you're still with us, can you drop in the chat if you feel comfortable? If not, it's okay. It's okay. It's
Okay.
okay.
Let me just say that now, going back to our last podcast last week, now it is starting to make sense why hairstylists are asking customers to pre-wash or prepare. Now that makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. Um, because one of the things that has kind of created tension between the natural hair client that walks in the door after they're exasperated with probably their own home efforts, their home remedies, and listening to YouTubers and going through all those things. There's a double-edged sword because the cosmetologist doesn't feel in charge. Um, and of course, that whole generation of Y2K Natural has kind of gone above and beyond their head or above their head and say, hey, we're going to go do this and do that. And I think that because of this particular movement is probably a little frustrated with the product manufacturers, because one of the things that um, they don't divulge is that, you know, you may want moisture, but if you substitute it with beeswax, or if you substitute it with something natural, and natural does not mean that it mixes with water or it mixes with any type of shampoo that would probably remove it. But then we jump to the clarifying. But at that point, you're dissatisfied with that because it dries it out. And so the cosmetologist is quite, I'm sure, quite frustrated. But I will say that by the time the client gets in person, so I've never had a phone conversation um, service. Now it seems like the cosmetologist wants to interact with them on instant messenger or some kind before they even get there, because now that cosmetology is confronted with the lowering and the decrease in income, so time becomes a factor. So that's probably why the phone conversation movement, because 25 years ago you could have just had them come in, but now the phone conversation is kind of useful now because you want to just tell them, well, hey, if you use this wax and this on funkies and this and that and this shea moist, and then you did this and did that and did this and you didn't want, I don't have time for that. because that's going to take me another hour and a half, and I got to make my, so there's a lot of issues that the consultation has turned into, a text. It's turned into a phone consultation now. It is not, armchair anymore, looking them into their eyes and getting their desires, getting their wants, and things of that nature, and really bonding with them, and then allowing them to trust your leadership, and and you getting a plan to correct some of the things. But you're not doing this in person. The hairstylist is now wanting to brace themselves, before they even see you. So it's a lot of different dynamics here.
Sorry, I'm like y'all. I keep telling you, I'm learning with you guys. I always say this, Cheryl has made it abundantly clear, and I agree. First of all, to all the cosmetologists and aspiring cosmetologists in the chat, we are so thankful to have you here. So first of all, we want to say that to people who are at home, like Miss April, just like she said, hey, she's starting to learn herself. This is why we are here. We are really trying to be, like Cheryl said, forward thinking, because she sees the future. Not now. I really agree that we are going to have to truly be more problem solvers. So the topic tonight about consultations are key. And Shanette Williams, welcome. This is her statement, Cheryl. She said that what you're saying and what I just said also is very true. It took 3 appointments of deep clarifying treatments to get whatever was on her client's hair off, and she wished she had that expensive microscope to see the buildup. Now, we have the microscope, but I'm here to tell you, Shanette and Cheryl, please, I'm just going to be honest. That microscope, it looks fancy, and it does let you see up close and personal, but it really can't help because it's nothing there, guys. I mean, our customers are in a really they're in a very, and I don't know how to say it, Cheryl, they're in a very bad situation because they've got this stuff on their hair. Even dishwashing liquid sometimes won't get this stuff off. So help me, Shanette, Ebony, help us out with the scope on the scalp and just trying to see and fix this stuff that we just, I mean, I'm not knocking Mielle, like I said, those products, I don't know what it is, but hey, it ain't coming off. So Shanette, I appreciate you because I feel the same way.
Well, um, when Y2K got growing, they were in pursuit of something different, a different texture, a different curl. And they were trying.
Wait a minute, Cheryl, let me interrupt. They were in for something different, but they were also mad at the beauty industry. They were saying that we were not helping them once they quote unquote went natural. So give us both. Ain't that right, Shanette and Ebony? Because they said you see them all on social media that we failed them. So you have both. So can you just get a little bit of that too?
Mm-hmm. So when the natural hair care person got going, but you realize that they were trying to get a curl definition that was not natural to their birth texture. And so they were not in pursuit of what the 1960s movement. They just wanted their hair fluffed in a nice afro as it was, and it was cuts, and it was nice in shapes and designs. That was not there. They were trying to create a ringlet that was not natural to their texture. And so when you went to go to curl definition, and instead of working with the cosmetology industry and creating technology that would give that from innate in terms of a service, what they asked the mixology generation of Y2K, they began to mix hydrophobic ingredients. So when the hairstylist went to go rinse it off, it was hydrophobic. And when you don't have, see, they were only interested because they started out with crazy stuff and you had to shake it up and, it would separate. And then, that was 2002 and 2005. And then they got a little better and then they got introduced to emulsions and then they started getting, but then what happened was then they fixed their cosmetic issues of separation and things of that nature. Then they went to ingredients like waxes, and those things are hydrophobic. And so, because they were so worried about it looking pretty in the jar and sitting on a shelf, and yay, I'm in Walmart and I'm in Whole Foods and I'm in Target and I can sit on a shelf now. But what they didn't forget, their ingredients are not cohesive enough. Their formulation is not cohesive, and unfortunately, by the time Procter and Gamble's and the L'Oreal's and they find out that this shit is junk, they have to reformulate it. But by that time, then it wouldn't be Carol's daughter, or it wouldn't be Miss Jessie's, or it would not be the same. Because now you have to make a really scientific pH balance. You have to make it hydrophilic. You have to make it removable. You have to make it soluble. You can't just put a bunch of ingredients and now that it feels good and it looks pretty in a jar, but by the time somebody puts it on their hair, and then you have all of the other issues that chemists do, they look for, and they, how does it spread? Is it spreading? Is it cooking? Is it washable? Is it removable? Well, at that point, you don't have enough sophistication in chemistry by that time. So it's by time, this is 2015 at this point. And so now Black ownership and foundership becomes more important than it actually working. And then once the things get bad texture, they open up the jars because they've got 20,000 units of this junk, and the owners of, and the marketing people and the retail people start opening up these jars at Targets and Whole Foods and things, and it turns junk. Then they want them to buy it back, and then of course the brand goes defunct within 7 to 8 years, and the Y2K brands are not going into legacy. They're not lasting beyond 20 years or even 10, 7, if that. So, but what does that leave the cosmetologists? Okay, well, we didn't have the answers, and all industries have a chance to get things right. We have to improve. Transportation improves, green sciences, environments, the environmental, the oil, the nails, everybody gets a chance to improve. But Y2K was very draconian. They came and said, oh, we don't know anything, but I think we've weathered the storm, guys.
Okay, this chat is on fire. Every question y'all asking, sure, you better get ready, okay? Lick your lips a little bit. It's just so you guys, you see, here's the thing, Miss AJ. Okay, she said, what's being used that even Dawn can't remove? This is why we need to do these consultations, because the truth of the matter is we don't know. We have no. I'm sorry, sure. We are cosmetologists. We're not chemists, and this is why we need to have these platforms. This is why we need to have this education, because these people are making these mixing. I'm sorry, the key word that Cheryl is teaching us today. They're mixing these products, and when they come in, we just don't have the je ne sais quoi to.
Well, Dawn is not designed to remove polar and huge molecular weight like wax. It's only the molecules in soap and salts are only designed to grab a hold of food grade greases, oils, olive oil, corn oil, soy oil, low molecular weight oils, and food. They're not. Dawn is not designed for heavy wax and beauty molecular weight and industrial weight waxes and beeswaxes and all of these oils that are very heavy. See, the polar molecules in salt attach onto the things that it can. But because of the high phobicity of these waxes that get stuck on hair and keratin fiber and proteins, what you probably have to do is that you just can't have anything that is slick even in the product. You have to probably have to go to something so acidic, um, like lemon juice or something, to even cut through the heavy. See, everything is in molecular weight. You have motor oil. Well, motor oil goes into your motor car because the viscosity gets hot. Well, then for your stove, you have vegetable oils, they're lower. And then for your skin, you have mineral oil, which is even smaller. That's why, and then when you go to your smallest, like essential, that's why you can't put it on your skin because it's too essential. So it's too small. Dawn is just not designed. Dish soap. It's almost like the molecular weight and the cations in detergent. They're not the same as dishwashing because they're not picking up and trying to remove the same molecule. If that makes sense.
Oh boy, these consultations, I'm telling you guys, see, when you come to the hair salon, right? I'm just gonna, I should have put one of ours up on here, but I should have. Anywho, so this is our consultation that we have at our hair salon. Okay, and Ebony, we got some other questions. We're gonna get you guys questions. We're just gonna keep rocking out with us. By the way, please don't forget to smash that like button. Share the show. If you know any other people who need to know this information, please go ahead on and share the show. And again, I gotta say what's up to our LinkedIn trolls. What's up? We see y'all out here. We still love our LinkedIn trolls. Yeah, I'm with you, Sandra. This is a wow moment. One of the things that we ask in our consultation, like we get the generic, like like where you live. We also want to know like what's the goal that you have for your hair. So I think Ebony, this might because Ebony wants to know, is this stuff permanent on the hair? But now we see, Ebony, in our consultations, because we're not chemists. We're cosmetologists, and they're fighting to lower the standards of education. But I hope everybody who's watching this podcast, either during the live or post the live, that now you understand why education is so important and why we are so proud that here in the state of Ohio, we were able to smash House Bill 542 to lower the standards of education. Because as you guys can see here, these people who are mixing this stuff at home, they have made our lives behind this chair a living hell, because these people are not going back to those companies. They're coming into the hair salons, and we're like, it's like, it feels like grease. But Cheryl has just pointed out, because it's not. It's a wax. It's other stuff that we don't have the skill set. But these consultations are key, because we need to break down and just kind of see what's going on. So one of the things that we ask is, how often are you cleansing your hair? So one of the things that happens with this Y2K natural hair movement is the no washing of the hair at all. So now let's go on into Ebony's questions. The longer they go without washing their hair, will this make this stuff permanent, whether you use a clear, to get this off the hair?
Once again, I don't know if the manufacturer even compensated. I don't even think that they thought about getting it off as a part of the regimen or as a part of how the product is supposed to work. You see, you have to remember, these product owners if you said the cosmetologists don't know because you're not chemists, well, they're not either. And so they're not thinking about, they're only thinking about how to sell it and how for it to make it conducive to sit on a shelf. Because you have to remember, this is not just a Y2K movement in an anti-chemical movement, in an anti-establishment cosmetology industry. They are also pro-black owned at all costs. They're not talking about if it works. Okay, they're not talking about technology. They're not talking about quality. They're not going there. They're not addressing that. That's not what the movement is about. The movement is to be recognized as a black founder and to be supported and to be included. So it's void of anything that would deal with the unforeseen problems of removal of the product that they're eventually trying to sell to you. They didn't take that into consideration because that would be what? R and D. That would be research and development. It would be it would be a 360 package. And we're not and just let me just say this. Shampoos are not designed to get rid of buildup. Some shampoos are to get rid of just basic dirt and you know and to cleanse. It is not designed to
Can I please interject? Please. Let me just say this. Now that they do teach in cosmetology school, they really, really, really do teach this. They break down what the molecule that the soap molecule can attach to the sebum oil. They do teach that for real, guys. So this is why during our consultations, we as licensed professionals, we have to take the opportunity and do these consultations so that we can show that we understand and we know these things. That's number one, especially when it comes to hair that is unkempt and heavily soiled. That's one. Two, if anybody has ever had a plumbing situation in their hair salon, the plumber makes abundantly clear, because they can see all of the dead skin cells, all of the scum, and they're telling us also that these shampoos cannot break this stuff down, which they don't talk about this, Cheryl, but that those products, they're horrible on your plumbing as well. You guys have to understand the shampoos are not formulated for what they're out here saying they're formulated for. They're just not. So Cheryl, thank you so much for bringing that up and letting me interject. But we have a question right here, and then I want to go on to, should we be charging for these consultations, and can we go a little bit deeper with the scalps? Okay, so that's where we're gonna go next. We got about 10 more minutes. Well, y'all they getting their time's worth. Okay, Cheryl. Okay, so here we go. AJ wants to know, what do you think about emphasis on porosity, especially when buying products? Now, again, we're talking about consultations, and people are coming in to the salons, and they're trying to bum rush us with the porosity conversation. They come in like, I'm low porosity 4C. So help Miss AJ out about consulting on porosity, especially in terms of picking products. Thank you, AJ.
well, my fellow professionals, let me say this. Hair does not have a porosity level, not naturally. It is hydrophobic. Once again, hair is, you cut it and it is not wet inside. Hair is hydrophobic. It is a dry, fibrous. You can't be fibrous and wet. So you don't have a natural porosity unless you change the nature by denaturing it. It doesn't have a natural porosity. Anything that is hot, not moist, doesn't have a natural porosity level. So if you are assuming you are part of the natural hair tribe, now if you are colored and you are chemically enhanced or you are chemically altered, then you have a porosity at that point. But you don't have a natural porosity level in hair. So if you are of the natural tribe and you are anti-chemical, there is no way to govern from a scientific perspective what a porosity of something natural would be, because it is natural. And unfortunately, from a laboratory perspective, there is no ingredient that's going to move or fix or do anything to a porosity level, because the porosity level does not tell you that it needs to be up or down or sideways or backwards. There is no metric or litmus. There's no indication of how to move it if it is already natural. The fibrous protein does not have a natural porosity level versus a different texture in your family or a different race of person or things of that nature. It doesn't quite look. Porosity came into cosmetology. It is a cosmetological term. Once the hair has been altered, doesn't mean altered as in bad. It just means that you moved it to be more flexuous, more curly, more soft, more coarser, more, straighter, more wavier, a body wave, you put in a curl, or you added some color to make it thicker or to appear, you're playing with different and making it behave cosmetically different. At that point, you have a porosity. Does that make sense?
Me and Sandra over here. Come on, Sandra, let's say it. Break it down. Hey. All right. She just broke it down like baby Tevin Campbell, okay? Again, we're talking about consultations. This is why it is imperative that I hope you guys are definitely concluding that Cheryl and I, we are pro consultations. You must get these consultations before you allow people to get into your hair, so that we can assess and we can help debunk, even if we don't have all of the answers. Like before this live, I would not have all of the answers about what was on the hair, but McComb's girl, like everybody else is in the chat, we knew something was there. Though I would not have articulated like Cheryl, I knew something was there. And I, like she said, acid breaks down the fat. I did not know that, but I was using an acidic conditioner. We put it on the hair before we would shampoo, because Cheryl taught me that, you know what I'm saying? And that really was helping to break that down. Though I could not articulate it, but again, we want you guys to understand consultations are very important. So make sure you're going to get yours done. So you have two ways that people want to know about these consultations, all right? And so she says that makes perfect sense the way you laid that out, Cheryl. So you got a big thumbs up right there from Miss AJ, okay? So here's the thing, all right? Should they pay for it? And our Google reviews and stuff, are these good ways to find out if a person is on the up and up? So number one, should these consultations, should we be doing this stuff for free? Or what is your take on consultations with a fee or no fee or whatever?
Well, I will say that it depends on what they're coming in for. I use different consultations for different things. hair loss consultation is paid. Um, a coming in to get to know me because you've moved or you're from another city and you want to just, kind of interview me because I agree with that, to get to know a new hairstylist. And you're going to be a recurring, and you want to just get familiar about, my knowledge level and skill sets and things of that nature. Do I have a specialty or whatever the case may be? Um, but that is only 5 minutes, you can't get to know someone very quickly. I usually take over my consultations. I don't let them talk, not a lot. I ask them questions and I want them, straight answers, because once you are experienced, you'll know if they're lying or not, or if they're trying to stretch the truth, or, you know, I always start my consultations off by saying, if I ask the question, I'm sure I pretty know much the answer, but I do want to know how honest you're going to be, especially if they are coming into and they got some problems, things of that nature. But I believe that there is an elevation process that cosmetologists can elevate into being paid experts, and using their junior and sophomore hairstylists to do some of the work that is kind of, sweat equity, put it that way. But even if I do a consultation, but it's a long conversation of a lot of questions, because even if they do have some product questions, what is more important is that where did they hear of it, who referred them, and why did they purchase it, and has it done what they wanted to. And if they say no, I tell them that we're going to try something else, and they're going to use my experience in picking their palette. And so, but there's an industry, I think, that seasoned and senior cosmetologists should raise the level. They should go into paid consultations, and not just for clients. I mean, just for their community.
All right. So, if you are an aspiring cosmetologist, or if you're seasoned like myself and Cheryl, or if you are a consumer and you're looking to get that consultation, you have a couple of ways. So there are some instances where consultations may very well cost, so please be prepared to pay the person if they do have a fee. But like Cheryl said, to get to know the stylist, and I don't know, some people may not be aware that you guys do have a right to do that. You can go to those hair salons and get to know that person and just kind of let me see your work and so on and so forth. I know you don't hear that, but I'm telling you, there are more of us who actually welcome a get to know you consultation before we even see you than what you see on social media. So talk to us about these Google reviews that people can see, and then the confusion with stuff on social media. So let me do a clip for you guys because this got real heated. I did put some clips up here. Let's see if I can get one here just to show you what happens. Do you think consultations could have prevented some of these confusions when we talk about getting reviews? Because I think what's happening, Cheryl, is that people see stuff on social media and they have all these filters and these bots and they can't decipher. So you will get these kinds of things. Now, this is to the extreme, but it very well happens. All right, Cheryl, here we go. Get ready.
It's the principle of the point. Like, if you feel me on
Okay, so here was a fist, and she had pulled out a gun because the cost, so they had to resolve to letting her go. She didn't pull out a gun, but the cost was much to what she did not want to pay the cost. Would a consultation, letting people know, how do consumers navigate through all of this stuff? Because she was so frustrated about that cost. This girl done pulled out a gun and was like, y'all gonna let me up out of here. I'm not paying y'all. But she got that weave slayed. Now, I'm not saying these incidents are limited to people with hair weave, because I have worked in hair salons where customers have smacked hairstylists. I've seen it all, okay? So this is not a black thing, but I'm just showing you these are things that could have been preventable with a consultation. But how do customers decipher? How do they use these Google reviews, these images, help people out in modern day times?
Wow. Okay. Well, and you know, I have some experience in some of those types of salons. They get kind of eventful. But you know, I don't think that even those particular hairstylists are prepared to engage. Those types of hairstylists are not in. They're not interested in relationships. Those are money making shops. Those are girls that are trying to get. They don't care if they ever see her again. They just want the money that time. So that's not the business model that we are talking about. We're talking about, could have a consultation prevented it, but those are not consultation kind of girls. There's no, what would you ask? You want this, you saw it, pay me. I mean, there's no other conversation to have there. I think that what we're what we're talking, and that's extreme too. But I will say that you can't Google the hair business. You can't Google cosmetology. You can't read reviews, because everybody's hair is different. Their scalp is situation and their hair issue is different, you know, because that would be like a doctor saying, hey, I did this fabulous heart surgery the other day, you know, guys, and I just want to let you know, if you want your heart fixed, you know, come to me. You know, if you need, you know, you need that triple bypass, you know, come to me. I did it last week. I did a good one. You know, you can't consultate, you know, and consult your way through a heart transplant. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I think that, you know, I don't know even how it got started, but I will say that reviews can only talk about their chair side manners, their marketing, you know, and their how they spoke to you and how they made you feel, and did they explain product, their knowledge base, and things of that nature. They can't predict the behavior of the consumer and the client and the cosmetology's interaction, as far as they can't get a feel of being trusted and feeling confident with their hair in their hands. I don't know.
All right. Okay. So, guys, so as you can see, the social media and Google reviews, at the end of the day, guys, those are mere navigators. And you're going to have to use some deductive reasoning as you're reading these reviews to make a choice to go in, because like Cheryl just said, you have to understand these are people's personal experiences. Now, Rashida says, what about if they're offered a consultation, and then you have some people that says they don't want the consultation, and this is just how I want you to do my hair. So I actually have a clip that's very similar to that, and so here is how this one goes. So thank you, Rashida. That's ATL representing, baby. We got Atlanta up in the house. By the way, let us know where you guys are from. Drop where you're representing from in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead on and pull this other video up, and this one is in a barber school. Again, let's see what the owner had to say to this customer. Here we go.
Leave.
We appreciate
now
it.
you can leave.
No, I own this place. I don't
Okay,
ever
good.
leave. I don't
so
ever leave.
you cannot be right now. I want to just finish my hair and don't want to talk to you
Do
no
you
more.
want me to finish the front for you?
What you mean?
Do you want me to line it up for you? I can do it for you.
What? You threatening me?
No, I can
Are
line
you
it for
threatening
you.
me? No, I want her to finish. Please do not touch me.
Okay. So, Rashida, great question. I'm telling you, sure, I'm getting good at this. You know, I'm just picking this stuff out, and the universe, God is just aligning everything up. It always works out. And you know, can we all give Cheryl like the big ups? Because Cheryl, I'm telling you, we be bringing you some crazy situations, and you do such a good job even at this one here. So here's the owner who is in control, and it's like, this is what I'm gonna do, and so on and so forth. We got New Jersey. What's up, Sandra? You from Jersey? I'm from Jersey. We got Nasty Natty in the house. We got Louisville. What's up, my Louisville people? What's up, Kentucky? How you guys doing out there? So what about that customer service from the owner who had to let him know that she's the owner, okay? And she wanted to finish that situation up. To Rashida's point, here's the person like, I don't want what you have to offer. How do customers navigate through a situation where they don't want something, but the owner is saying, oh, I own this baby. You gonna do what I say.
Like I say to all cosmetologists, we are the physicians of the beauty world. And at some point, we have to take control of our reputations, and our creed, and our oath to what we owe the consumer body. And you never let the customer define that. And also, that's a red flag, because if the client doesn't want a relationship with you, they don't plan on seeing you again. And so you have to make a process of time and value, because if you're going to get, $45 and get a $100 pound of trouble for them, everything don't come in money. All riches don't come in money. Sometimes they're relationships. Sometimes they are, there are people whose hair you do, and then you have a situation one day and they say, oh, I can help you. And you're like, oh, I didn't know. And you get to know them. So if they're not willing to invest in your process, then let the $45 go, y'all. Protect your business. We're into beauty businesses. We are beauty professionals. This is something that is passable and inherited. This is something that can go down and be a couple of generations and many generations. Don't ever let your clientele or your customer or future or prospecting customer define who you are as a business.
Wow, that is what a phenomenal way to wrap up. This was a powerful podcast. I might have to throw in some more adjectives on that. Let me just drop you. Here you go. Sandra said, not only protect your business, but protect your life. As we wind down next week, guys, we're going to be back in with McComb's girl. She's from Fort Apache. Jump on it. Jump on it. Kiwasabi, jump on it, jump on it. We better not say nothing. The Indians gonna get us for talking about Kiwasabi. Jump on it, jump on it. I'm sorry, Indians, but Sugar Hill made that song, and we gonna keep singing it because it has a different meaning to us. All right. So McComb's girl from Fort Apache, the Bronx. I mean, I said Fort Apache, the Bronx. I'm sorry, Fort Apache, New York. Okay, she is gonna be with us next week. There are going to be 3 people in the chat, and we are going to introduce her to you guys, tell her all about you. I'm just going to be I'm putting up my New York. I'm going to give me my gold chain. I'm going to have my gazelle on. I'm going to have my boys ready for you, McComb's girl. And the topic that she wants to talk about, guys, is the mother texture. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but towards the end of last week, I went live on TikTok talking about the mother texture. Do you know that baby almost went viral? Yeah, yes. They don't keep the lives up on TikTok, but let me just tell you, it was it was like 400,000 people. I was like, yeah. So we are going to change the world with the mother texture. This is a word coined, introduced to us, by Cheryl Morrow. So this is a topic that McComb's girl wants to talk about next week. So you guys, if you want to know about the mother texture, well, I ain't gonna be a spoiler. You have to join us next week to learn all about the mother texture. She has her questions ready. We're gonna do some giveaways, okay? So I have my curly hair adventures books. Hold it right here, and I also have my what they don't tell you at the hair salon book. So I'm going to give away a book so that you guys can have for joining us. All right. So we're going to be back next Monday at 6 o'clock with McComb's girl. And the topic is the mother texture. Cheryl, can you take us out when you talked about leaving a legacy? Because the consultation, as you guys can see, is where a cosmetologist, a business owner, a barber, we really get to lay that foundation so you guys can see what we're talking about. But I think that legacy piece gets missed. So this is a wonderful way to close us out when you talk about building legacy with your brand from behind the chair as your father. He was one person. He wasn't a big old conglomerate. One person left a legacy that we're here talking about today. Why is that important to just a little old hairstylist like Key Lola?
History tells a story of within the early 20th century of Black America, where there were only not a lot of places outside of church where Black people could meet. And for men, it was the barbershop, and for women, it was the salon. And let's just also make sure that there's nothing more precious than our hair and our self-image. And so barbers and hairstylists were very different. They were community leaders. They were also the VCs of that time. They had a lot of opportunity to enrich themselves. They were very wealthy people. They invest into the Negro League, baseball. We also gave Martin Luther King Civil Rights Movement their first money. So we were very instrumental. But most importantly, I think that, unlike the Porterman's industry, beauty and barbering is something that is family oriented. I mean, in your chairs, I don't know if you guys realize, in your chairs, we always talk about the celebrity. But the celebrity today is replaced by the mayor, the police detectives, the firemen, the politicians, the high profile people and business class of people that come through your chairs. And not only come through your chairs, but you do their children and their mothers and their aunts and their uncles, and you get referred. And you're the business that people begin to depend on. You're the number one choice of entrepreneurship. You are the only cash-based, cash-rich business in most Black communities across this country. So once you understand that, that you are the Black man's country club, you are the woman's country club, you're the private club that every woman and man loves to go to and they feel safe. So you got to protect those types of wonderful attributes and cultural staples. There's a code of conduct. The community knows how to act. I don't know if there's a barbershop prior to 2000 that wasn't robbed, because Black men from little boys, they know, you don't shit where you eat, especially where you get your hair cut, because somebody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, and that's the kind of interconnectedness that beauty allows us to have it's the glue in our community. So we have to protect them. And unfortunately, some bad apples have to get kind of strained out and, weaned out. But protect them because they may be instruments of wealth and power and for your children and your grandchildren. So absolutely protect them at all costs. Absolutely.
Okay, guys. So there you have it. Why legacy building and your hair salon, your barbershop, whatever business you have. Cheryl just gave us just a wonderful ending of the opportunity that we have, whether we like it or not, whether you plan on doing it or not. The legacy is within you. And when you do these consultations and you take the time to get to know your customer, admit what you don't know, get some help, and really craft out and customize that service. Nothing wrong with those reviews, but understand that those are personal experiences, those images, they're personal images. And so you're going to have to use your due diligence as a consumer and just kind of navigate through this stuff, and don't take what you see literally, and understand that if you don't want to do that consultation, then you know what, you're missing the opportunity to build a wonderful relationship. I know that in my career, I love what I do. I love every customer I touch. I'm not even exaggerating. I feel love every single day. So that gives me a lot of reasons to build legacy. So with that, thank you so much. Sure, we're going to be back with McCombs Girl. I'm going to have my little funky, I might even rock a cane go. You know what I'm saying? I might pay some homage to LL and KRS-One. You know what I'm saying? So it's going down next week.
Please.
You said who? Who you say? You ain't say no Kwame, did you? Just keep Kwame. What's up, Kwame?
No, I said they're from Queens.
They're from Queen. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, we're gonna get our hip hop trivia. We might start with some. You know what, McCall's go. We're gonna start with some hip hop trivia next week. All right, and we're gonna have some giveaways. So thank you guys so much for joining us. This was powerful. Again, please share the content. Smash that like button, and we're going to be back next week talking about the mother Texas. Y'all know what we say. We're talking about a whole lot of peace, a whole lot of love. The bridge is over. The bridge is over. Pretty bye. Hey, I'm going to say that on that note, all right? Rub y'all bald heads, because bald heads are beautiful too. Bye, guys. All you sucker MCs want you, please come out to play. What?